While millions of Americans are screaming at their TVs and emotionally collapsing because 11 strangers lost a game, there is a massive group of people who just do not care. If you are one of them, you have probably wondered if you are boring or if you just lack passion. But here is the truth. Neuroscience suggests your brain is actually wired for a completely different kind of reward system. You are not defective. You are simply operating on a different frequency. If you have ever felt like an alien during a Super Bowl party, type the number one into the comments right now so we can find our tribe. Stay with me, because what is happening inside your head is actually fascinating. To understand why you feel nothing when a touchdown happens, we first have to look at why everyone else is losing their minds. It is not really about the ball. It is about survival. For thousands of years, human survival depended entirely on being part of a tribe. If you were alone, you were dead. Today, sports teams are basically modern tribes with better branding. When a fan watches their team, their brain releases oxytocin. This is often called the bonding hormone, the same chemical responsible for mother-infant bonding. Their brain literally tricks them into thinking those millionaire athletes are their kin. They are not just watching a game, they are chemically participating in a tribal ritual. But here is where your brain diverges in a fascinating way. Psychology suggests that people who do not care about sports often possess what is called lower tribal instincts. Do not let the name fool you. This is not a bad thing. It means your identity is likely more individualistic. You do not have the same biological need to merge your identity with a group to feel safe or complete. While your friends need the psychological safety net of saying, "we won," your self-concept is strong enough to stand alone. You do not subconsciously view the world through an us versus them lens. Evolutionarily speaking, you are the independent scout rather than the pack member. But if you think the tribal difference is interesting, wait until you hear what is happening with your dopamine levels, because that is where things get truly addictive. Let's dig into the chemistry, because this is where the difference between you and a superfan becomes undeniable. When a fan watches a close game, their brain is getting hammered with dopamine. But it is not just about winning. It is about the uncertainty. In psychology, we call this intermittent reinforcement. It is the most addictive reward schedule known to science, and it is the exact same mechanism that powers slot machines. You pull the lever, and you do not know if you will get a reward. That unpredictability keeps the dopamine firing. For a sports fan, every play is a pull of that slot machine lever. They are chemically hooked on the anxiety of the maybe. If you are watching this and feeling absolutely nothing during a game, your dopamine system simply is not triggered by vicarious competition. Research actually suggests this could be genetic. Variations in specific dopamine receptor genes can dictate whether you find spectator sports thrilling or just a bunch of noise. You are literally built differently. But here is the hidden advantage of your brain type. Sports fans often engage in what we call basking in reflected glory. When the team wins, they say, "we won." They temporarily boost their self-esteem through the achievements of others. But the flip side is brutal. When the team loses, their mood crashes. They are on an emotional roller coaster that they cannot steer. You, on the other hand, likely possess what psychologists call a consistent self-concept. You do not outsource your emotional stability to a scoreboard. Your self-worth is internal, stable, and immune to the performance of strangers. That is not a lack of passion. That is emotional resilience. If you are still here and you appreciate understanding the why behind your personality, drop the number 3 inches the comments. It tells me you are serious about mastering your own psychology. Now, you might be wondering, if you are not spending your emotional energy on sports, where is it going? The answer is surprisingly beautiful. So, if you are not screaming at the television, does that mean you are cold or unfeeling? Absolutely not. This is one of the biggest misconceptions non-sports fans face. Society often mistakes a lack of interest in entertainment for a lack of empathy. The truth is, everyone has a limited emotional budget. Psychologists call this empathy allocation. Sports fans spend a massive chunk of their budget on their team. They practice caring deeply about strangers wearing specific colors. You, however, are not saving that budget. You are just investing it differently. Research using the Big Five personality traits often finds that people with low interest in spectator sports score significantly higher in a trait called openness to experience. This means your brain lights up for different stimuli. complex ideas, art, nature, social causes, or deep one-on-one relationships. While the crowd gets their emotional release from a buzzer beater, you might get that same feeling of transcendence from an incredible song, a breakthrough idea, or a meaningful conversation. You are not lacking connection. You are seeking a different quality of connection. You crave depth, not just adrenaline. Since you prefer unique experiences over blindly following the crowd, let's try a little social experiment with the algorithm. If you are enjoying this deep dive, comment the number 0. If you actually dislike this video, go ahead and hit the like button. Let's see if we can confuse the system with your unique data points. Now that we know you have plenty of empathy, let's look at the most empowering part of your psychology. You don't just watch stories, you control them. This brings us to the fundamental difference in how you view the world. It comes down to one powerful psychological concept: agency. For a diehard sports fan, the thrill comes from the surrender. They submit to the chaos of the game, allowing an external event to dictate their happiness. But for you, that lack of control isn't thrilling. It is frustratingly inefficient. Your brain likely favors an internal locus of control. You believe that outcomes should be determined by your actions, not by a referee's bad call in a stadium 1,000 miles away. Think about the concept of parasocial interaction. This is a one-sided psychological relationship where you invest energy in someone who does not know you exist. Sports fandom is the ultimate parasocial investment. You scream, you cry, you buy the jersey, but the relationship provides zero tangible reciprocity. People who are indifferent to sports often subconsciously reject this bad deal. You demand a better return on investment for your emotional energy. You prefer direct engagement. When you spend 3 hours on a Sunday painting, coding, hiking, or building a side hustle, you are the active participant. You are not watching the protagonist. You are the protagonist. You have intuitively decided that real life is interesting enough that you do not need to borrow drama from a franchise. You are not missing out on the game. You are simply refusing to be an NPC, a non-player character in your own life. You are saving your competitive drive for the battles where you actually have a hand on the steering wheel. And that leads us to the final truth. Being a non-fan isn't just a preference. It might be your superpower. So, what does all this mean for you? If you do not care about sports, you are not missing out on a fundamental human experience. You are simply built for a different kind of engagement. We have learned that your brain's reward system, your empathy, and your drive for autonomy are calibrated for creation, not just observation. The next time someone looks at you like you are crazy because you missed the big game, do not fake it. Remember, you are not broken, and you are definitely not boring. You are just playing a different game, one where you are the athlete, not the fan. The world has enough spectators. We need more people like you who are busy building their own championships. If this analysis helped you understand yourself better, you are probably going to love this video on why quiet people process information faster than everyone else. Click right here to keep exploring your unique mind.